You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. For more great content, including bonus videos of events in and around Paris, please join us on Patreon. Hello, and welcome to Don't Miss This, your weekly roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. I'm your host, Jennifer Geraghty, the creator and founder of the Paris Underground Radio podcast network. Each week on Don't Miss This, I'll share 10 of the best things happening in Paris. If you'd like an extended written version, complete with dates and descriptions and direct links to those 10 events, plus a number of others I couldn't fit into this podcast, this week there were 12 additional events, then just head over to Patreon to have your very own downloadable weekly schedule sent directly to you. Sign up at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. This week begins with a breath of fresh air and ends in a sumptuous costumed revolution. In between, you'll find retrospectives, African-American art, immersive experiences, party parades, a long-awaited opening of an historic landmark, and so much more. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, September 17th through Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. Take a deep breath, because Sunday, September 17th is this month's Paris Respire, Journée sans voiture, or Paris Breathes, Day Without Cars. It's only fitting, then, that 2 days later marks the opening of the Bike Trip USA 1939 exhibit at the Fondation Henri Cartier-Bresson. In 1939, 17-year-old Ruth Orkin decided she wanted to attend the World's Fair in New York City. The problem was that she lived in Los Angeles, about 2,800 miles or 4,506 kilometers away. Well, that and the fact that she was a single young woman and that she had to rely on 1939's transportation system. So, Ruth decided to trek cross-country, stopping at a number of major cities along the way. She would take buses, cars, and trains to get to places like San Francisco, Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C., and then grab her bike and her camera and explore. In total, she took 350 photographs over the course of 4 months, capturing the local sights and scenes in each location. She took playful photos of herself, her bike, and the people she met along the way. And now you can view around 40 of these photos, as well as press articles from interviews she gave along the way, period documents, and the manuscript that Ruth wrote about her journey. Bike Trip USA 1939 will be at the Fondation Henri Cartier-Bresson from Tuesday, September 19th through January 4th, 2024. Full-price tickets are €10, and you can find more information at henricartierbresson.org. That's HenriCartierbresson.org. The very next day, one of Paris's most anticipated new landmarks will finally open. I'm talking, of course, about La Maison Gainsbourg. As you likely know, Serge Gainsbourg was one of France's most well-known musicians, actors, and directors. He lived at La Maison Gainsbourg from 1969 until his death in 1991. This home and all the objects in it were kept exactly as they were by his daughter, Charlotte Gainsbourg. Cans in the cupboards, half-drunk bottles of wine laying about. So you can wander the space he once was, as it once was, all the while listening to a soundtrack created by Soundwalk Collective and Charlotte herself, whose voice recounts memories and anecdotes of her father and childhood home. You'll visit this space with the help of geolocated headsets. Next door to the home, you'll find a museum retracing Serge's life in 8 chronological chapters. In total, there are around 25,000 original pieces in the collection, with around 450 on display, including manuscripts, paintings, press archives, photos, personal items, clothing, jewelry, and television, film, and radio clips, some of which have never been seen before. As if that weren't enough, there's also a bookstore/boutique and Le Gainsbar, a cafe by day and cocktail piano bar by night. La Maison Gainsbourg will open on Wednesday, September 20th, and combined tickets are €25. For more information, please visit maisongainsbourg.fr. That's MAISONGAINSBOURG.fr. In 1906, a Jewish-Italian artist named Amedeo Modigliani arrived in Paris. 8 years later, he met gallery owner Paul Guillaume, who became his art dealer, supporter, and occasional muse. Paul championed Amedeo's painting, rented him a studio in Montmartre, and bought, sold, and collected his work. A new exhibit, Amedeo Modigliani, un peintre et son marchand, comes to the Musée de l'Orangerie this week and explores this relationship between Amedeo and Paul. Throughout their time together, Paul was responsible for dealing more than 200 pieces of Amedeo's art, including paintings, drawings, and sculptures, and Amedeo created a series of paintings and drawings featuring Paul himself. The pieces on display in this exhibit feature portraits of some of the most important figures of the day and some of the women with whom Amedeo was linked. These were disseminated throughout France and the US by Paul. Now, these pieces have been chosen to highlight the impact of their friendship in each man's life. Amedeo Modigliani, un peintre et son marchand, will be at the Musée de l'Orangerie from Wednesday, September 20th through January 15th, 2024. For more information, please visit musée-orangerie.fr. That's musee-orangerie.fr. And now for something marvelous. Beginning on Wednesday, September 20th, the Festival du Film Merveilleux et Imaginaire returns for its 13th edition. This short film festival features films by young filmmakers with magic and imagination. In this year's edition, you'll find around 30 international short films, animated, live action, and virtual reality, ranging in length from 1 to 15 minutes. Each film, for better or for worse, will be shown in French, not its original language. The Festival du Film Merveilleux et Imaginaire will be at the Christine Cinema Club from Wednesday, September 20th through Friday, September 22nd, and each nightly session costs €6. An opening night cocktail will be offered on the 20th and a closing night cocktail on the 22nd. For more information, please visit festival-film-merveilleux.com. That's festival-film-merveilleux.com. Opening the very next day, mere streets away, is the newest solo exhibit, Building Our Being, by African-American artist Joshua Close. Joshua creates large-scale collages crafted from his own woodblocking printing textures, combining traditional woodblock printing with unusual materials and a contemporary twist. These pieces are often portraits. Quote, through his use of scale and reference to construction materials, the artist seems to align the act of Black representational image-making to the act of building statues or monuments. Perhaps a sculptor at heart, Close transforms his two-dimensional collages into three-dimensional illusions, works that are at once flat and appear built out, more like sculptural reliefs. Close's constructions lead one into an imaginary landscape at once ancient and futuristic, classic and sci-fi, where identity is both in question and shockingly evident. End quote. An interview with Joshua will be featured on an upcoming episode of the City of Muses podcast, so keep an eye out for that. Building Our Being will be at the Zidune Bossuet Gallery from Thursday, September 21st through November 4th and is free to attend. For more information, please visit zidune-bossuet.com. That's ZIDOUN-BOSSUYT.com. Virgil Abloh was the first African-American to be named artistic director of Louis Vuitton in 2018. He was known for his style, which mixed couture and streetwear, and he sadly passed away 2 years ago at the age of 41. The Galerie Créo will now open a new exhibit in honor of him, titled Virgil Abloh Ecosystems. Not only a fashion designer, this exhibit will unveil Virgil's latest new furniture and design pieces, including a series of ladders with each rung dedicated to a different influential Black person, people like Ella Fitzgerald and Malcolm X. You'll also find pieces that were never published, alongside pieces by around 15 artists who influenced Virgil's work. Artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat, Keith Haring, Marcel Duchamp, and a series of photos of New York City in the 1980s by photographers like Sophie Bramley, Martha Cooper, and Bruce Davidson. Virgil Abloh Ecosystems will be at the Galerie Créo from Thursday, September 21st through November 1st and is free to attend. For more information, please visit galeriecreo.com. That's GALERIEKREO.com. If you're looking for something a little more immersive, you may be interested in the new show coming to the Dôme des Invalides this Friday, Aura Invalide. You may know a little bit about the history of the Dôme, which began construction under Louis XV and now houses Napoleon's tomb. But this is your chance to learn everything you can about this historic building in a show combining lights, original orchestral music, and video mapping, beginning every evening at nightfall. You'll take a sensory stroll around the 6 chapels surrounding the dome, guided by lighted paths. The show lasts 50 minutes and unfolds in 3 stages: construction, collective memory, where you'll discover the building's place throughout history, and universal elevation, described as a, quote, collective celebration of the present moment, end quote. Expérience immersive Aura Invalide will be at the Dôme des Invalides beginning on Friday, September 22nd, and continuing on for the next 10 years. Adult tickets are €22 and reservations are required. For more information and to make those reservations, please visit musée-army.fr. That's musee-armee.fr. If you're enjoying this podcast, you may also enjoy my podcast, City of Muses. Each week, I chat with contemporary artists, poets, dancers, designers, and performers to explore what inspires them, where their creativity comes from, and how Paris has helped or hindered their dreams come true. Inspiration and creativity meet in Paris, the City of Muses. Don't miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. On Saturday, we take to the streets for the 25th anniversary of the Techno Parade. Hundreds of thousands of people are expected to dance their way through the streets as part of the largest and most popular electro festival in France. This year, Technopole, in partnership with Fun Radio and Wild Buzz Agency, have selected 14 official floats, including Family Picnic, Rock the Beat, Tomorrow Dreams, Haribo, and Crazy Tiger, with more than 80 artists, including Maud Geffray, Dimny, Popov, Flavio Vedra, Coupex, Rag, and Mila Dietrich. The route will begin at Place d'Enfer Rochereau and wind through more than 6 kilometers before ending at Passy. The Techno Parade will take place on Saturday, September 23rd, beginning at noon, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit technoparade.fr. This week, we've enjoyed a retrospective of a French singer and an American fashion designer. So let's add a French street artist to the mix. Beginning on Friday, the Exposition Geraghty will open at the Mathgoth Gallery, featuring the work of France's first street artist, affectionately known as Zlati. Zlati first started drawing his ephemerals 60 years ago, in 1963. And this retrospective will trace his evolution as well as the evolution of the art form itself. Here you'll find around 100 pieces, including videos, photos, and pieces that have never before been shown in public. Zlati famously used an enema bulb to paint on walls, so that instrument will also have a place of honor. In addition, a brand new mural will be created on a nearby street. The Exposition Geraghty will be at the Mathgoth Gallery on Saturday, September 23rd through October 28th and is free to attend. For more information, please visit mathgoth.com. And now for something majestic. Have you ever wanted to travel back in time to the heyday of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette and attend a sumptuous ball? Well, here's your chance, sort of. In honor of the 240th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Paris, which ended America's Revolutionary War, the Hôtel de Marais will be hosting a Bal des Insurgents, or the Insurgents Ball. This costume ball has been organized by l'Histoire Retrouvée, a group renowned for their historical reconstructions. You'll dress in period costume, dating from 1778 to 1783, and immerse yourself in the splendor of the French royal court. The evening will begin with a cocktail dinner, and then you'll head to the upper salons to partake in 18th century dancing. Part of the proceeds of the evening will be donated to the Hermione Lafayette Association to help restore the Hermione frigate, an historic ship built in 1778 to help support America in the Revolution. It sank in 1793 and was found in 1984 by deep-sea diver Michel Vasquez. The Bal des Insurgents will be at the Hôtel de Marais on Saturday, September 23rd. Tickets are €180, and more information can be found at l'histoireretrouvée.com. That's LHISTOIRETROUVEE.com. Well, that's it for this edition of Don't Miss This. For the extended newsletter version, which includes 12 more events, including written descriptions and direct links, please join me on Patreon at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. Thank you for listening to Don't Miss This. If you liked this episode, please rate and review it. It really helps. And tell a friend. That helps too. If you attend any of the events listed in this podcast, please let me know at Paris Underground Radio on Instagram or Facebook. I am your host, Jennifer Geraghty. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria. That's JENNYPHORIA. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week. Happy exploring! Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Geraghty for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.